In math, we are going to solve comparison number stories. Comparison. Have you heard that word before? Comparison. We hear the word compare. Compare. You've heard compare, compare and contrast. See how things are the same and different. So look at two different things. So we're going to do that in math today. So we're going to solve comparison number stories, and I have a little bit of a math message for you. Here is a comparison number story for you. Fish A is 14 inches long. Fish B is 6 inches long. How many inches longer is fish A than fish B? So we are comparing two different fish. We're going to compare fish A and fish B. We're comparing 14 inches to 6 inches. We're going to see how much longer fish A is than fish B. So how much longer? Well, one thing to talk about is a comparison number story. It involves differences between two quantities or amounts, right? Two quantities or amounts. And with this number story, the quantity or amount is comparing fish A with fish B. Fish A is 14 inches long, and we can see that with this really long fish against the ruler, he hits 14 inches. And then we see fish B, right? He's 6 inches, and we can see that right there. And so right here where it says in red the word difference, we can see all the space in between from 6 to 14. That's going to be the amount from 6 to 14. That's the difference between the two quantities. That's going to be how much bigger fish B is than fish A. So how do we figure that out? Well, we can organize our information, right? We can use a comparison diagram. We have been using diagrams before with parts and total diagrams, change to more diagrams. This is called a comparison diagram, where we're going to take the two amounts or the two quantities, right? Quantity A for fish A is 14 inches. Quantity right over here for fish B is 6 inches. We're taking the two amounts, and we need to find the difference. So we got that information from right here. 14 inches, 6 inches. We can see that fish A is a big fish, right? We can see that fish B it's a small fish. So how much bigger is fish A? So that's what we're going to figure out. Okay? That's what we want to figure out. This is the difference. The amount between the two quantities. So we're going to use a comparison diagram to organize our information. All right. The longer quantity box. So let's see if you can point to which one the longer quantity box is. That one shows the larger quantity. And that's the length of fish A. And then the shorter quantity box, the one that looks more like a square, that shows the smaller quantity. And each time that you hear me say quantity, think amount. And that's the length of fish B. The difference line, where you see the question mark, shows how many more inches fish A measures than fish B. The quantity box at the top is as long as both the bottom quantity box and the difference line. So let's use a number model then to help us figure this out. We could use a couple different. So can you write different number models to represent this number story? Yeah, there are about 4 possible number models. Let's start with subtraction. I'm going to use my red. So I'm going to start with the big quantity that I have up there. He's going to start with my subtraction problem. 14, that's my big amount, minus my smaller amount. 14 minus 6 equals question mark. I could also say 14 minus my amount, or my difference, equals 6. And then there's actually going to be, and I'm going to change colors, 2 addition problems. What is this reminding you of? This is reminding me of a fact family where there's 2 addition problems and 2 subtraction problems. So let's start with our addition. Let's start with the quantity that I know, 6, plus my difference that I don't know equals 14. And then my second addition problem is going to start with my difference plus 6 equals 14. But in each of these problems, I have an amount I need to figure out. Each of these, I have an amount I need to figure out. So I can either start at 6, right here, and count up until I get to 14, or I can start at 14 and I can take away 6. My difference is going to be 8. The difference is going to be 8. If I look right here as well, I can see from the 6 here on my ruler, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? I can see that space as well. Sorry, my spaces got a little lumpy there. A little muddled there. But we can see on the ruler, right? From 6 to 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is not as nice. There we go. That's much better. So when we are listening to comparison number stories and reading comparison number stories, we are trying to find the difference when we are comparing 2 different amounts.